Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic video. In today's video we'll be going ahead and discussing what the upcoming JP30 event could do to avoid being a quote unquote disappointment, as recently I've seen plenty of fans worrying about what might happen for Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary. I'll be sharing my thoughts and ideas, as well as a general concept of an idea that the community have put together for the 30th anniversary celebration. After all, you only turn 30 once, and it is a big one. I'll also be interested to know what other ideas you might have in the comments below. So after you've given this video a watch through, please be sure to congregate in the comments and discuss your thoughts and opinions. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. As I'm sure you're all aware, Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary will be celebrated in a little over 2 months' time. And, as confirmed by Universal later last year, we will all be celebrating Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary in a, and I quote, big way. So, with 2 months to go, and with this event supposedly being celebrated in a big way, why haven't we heard anything about it quite yet? Well, unfortunately, it is quite disappointing that we haven't heard anything just yet, as it means that there will be a lot of people who won't be able to attend, as they won't have enough time to book off work, nor have the funds to book a last-minute trip, which is quite upsetting to be honest, as I believe that this should be celebrated with everyone who can celebrate it. Jurassic is for everyone. However, it's not entirely doom and gloom, as at the end of the day, we can look forward to something special. But to avoid any other errors like this, what else can be done for JP30 to make it a spectacular event? Well, what we must pay attention to is that the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park isn't just about Jurassic Park. I know, it's weird to say, but it's the 30th anniversary of the start of the entire movie universe that we know and love and have today. Sure, it did begin with Jurassic Park, but it continued with 5 more movies, 2 short films, and an entire animated series that has really brought the franchise to where it is today. I believe that this should also be celebrated and focused on, as it really is one of the greatest franchises known to date. Not only that, but it's the only expanded movie universe that has averaged $1 billion at the global box office, which just goes to show how loved this franchise is by not just mega and super fans, but the general audience in itself. So for me, I feel like celebrating the beginning of this franchise's anniversary is just as important as celebrating Jurassic Park's anniversary, and in what better way to do that than with an announcement of the continuation of this universe. Announcements would be the most ideal scenario for the fans, but could also be for the producers of Jurassic as well. It's no secret that announcements are some of the biggest step forwards for a movie in today's world, with every single journalist hopping on the news to cover these exclusives. It is also the first step into making a movie or a show profitable that can also catch the interest of multiple audiences. Therefore, these announcements have to be done just right. Announcing the next set of movies for Jurassic would be a massive leap into the future and would get plenty of fans excited for what's to come and have them speculate on what that story may entail. However, to me at least, it doesn't seem likely that's what we can expect for JP30. Unfortunately, from what I hear, the future movies are still being discussed on how to move forward and where they're gonna go with them overall, but that's just from an internal rumour, and could be entirely untrue. But, hypothetically speaking, if they're so sure on where these next set of movies are going to go, it's safe to say that announcing them at the JP30 event would be the best opportunity to do so in 2023. All eyes will be on this event, and even if they're not, this announcement would bring attraction and interest to this event, bringing in more potential audiences. So, announcing the next movie would be a fantastic move forward for the future movies, and for this particular event. But if there's no movies to announce, what is the next best thing? Well, recently I had an exclusive here on the channel where I discovered in regards to a brand new animated Jurassic series that has begun active development. This was thanks to some advertising online that opened public casting calls for an untitled animated Jurassic World series. This was found later last year and thus lines up nicely to a potential announcement and potentially an announcement trailer to be shown off at JP30's event. As we know, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous was first announced in 2019, an entire year before release. So, showing the announcement trailer of this untitled show would be perfect to set up a mid or late 2024 release. This way you attract more viewers into the show and get them excited for what's to come next. If you wish to find out more about this animated TV show, there are 2 videos available on the channel for you guys to watch. Whilst you're here, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want up-to-date news for everything from the Jurassic franchise, as we aim for over 200,000 subscribers by JP30 in June. It's completely free to do so, but if you wish to support the channel just that little bit more, press that join button to become a member of the channel, or head on over to my Patreon link for a shout out at the end of every video. But away from the canonical aspects of things, announcements for the future of video games from this franchise would also be a perfect thing to go ahead with. If it's one thing that people really want to see more from Jurassic, it's video games. But not the same old park builders and mobile games, but instead something more open world and immersive. Hopefully this is to come soon in just a couple of months, but for now we just have to wait and see. But it's safe to say that a few announcements with at least one important announcement would be the ideal and expected setting from the majority of fans for JP30. But those are just some things to do to make JP30 a success. But what should be avoided? Well, as much as toys are absolutely welcomed and loved by many, consistently announcing new toys after new toys might regress the interest to many other fans who aren't too big on toy collecting. After all, if Jurassic Park's target audience are aged 30 and above, there's a slim percentage of those at that particular age who toy hunt or toy collect. So announcing yet another toy line, despite recently releasing the Hammond Collection line, might be a little bit over the top and overkill. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic way to keep the franchise going and gaining profit in its down years, but there's so much more you can be doing with this IP than consistently announcing brand new toy lines out of nowhere. Another thing that should be avoided from JP30 is the announcement of a re-release for Jurassic Park in cinemas. Sure, it's fun and we can go watch it again, but I also know for a fact that there are many big name companies out there that already host a, what I like to call, nostalgic screening. And for Jurassic Park, it's basically on show nearly every fortnight, no matter where you are. And it's not entirely impossible to get tickets to see Jurassic Park on the big screen whatsoever. It's actually very common, and I know that in the States at least, there have been many people who have reached out to me saying that they saw Jurassic Park recently in cinemas. Jurassic Park is a classic, and probably one of the most important and well-known films in cinema history. Of course, it's going to be shown on the big screen multiple times, despite it being 2023. Not only that, but if you're a big fan of the franchise like I am, I already know that you watching this right now have seen the movie countless of times, and so much to the point that you have to seek a little bit of extra motivation to go ahead and see the movie again, but at a bigger price of around maybe $20 or something similar. Either way, to get my point across, I am simply worried that a re-release in cinemas may be made out to be a big deal throughout the JP30 event, but the reality is that it simply isn't. Millions already have access to see this movie in cinemas, and hundreds of millions have access to it at home. And to put the cherry on the cake, mega fans of this franchise would have probably already done that by now. To me, it feels as if this could be just a really easy cop-out to just try and get a bit more money for mass releasing it in cinemas for today's market. And I really hope that it won't be a major focus of JP30. Sure, announce it and it will be welcomed. But let's just hope that it's a minor announcement and that it won't be at the core of things that Universal want to promote at the JP30 event. It will be incredibly underwhelming, unfortunately. For example, I can go to 3 different cinema chains right now on their website and possibly book a Jurassic Park ticket in the space of maybe 3 weeks' time. So hopefully you can see why I think a re-release announcement would be slightly underwhelming. The last thing I majorly want to talk about in today's video is Jurassiccon. Sounds fun, right? Well, taking a look at Universal's IP purchases over recent years, we come across the title of Jurassiccon, which is obviously very similar to Comic-Con, CinemaCon, and so on. From what we can understand by this title, it seems as if the Jurassic related convention may be on the way and could well be announced at JP30. Again, being very opinionative here, I feel as if JP30 is the perfect time to test this out and to see whether or not Jurassiccon can be a success. But with just over 2 months to go and no announcement, it doesn't seem like it will reach its potential and be as successful as it could be, sadly. However, that doesn't push me off the idea of having a Jurassiccon somewhere later down the line in this decade. It will be an absolute fantastic idea to go ahead and have a convention where all of the fans of Jurassic and all of the general audience can come together and enjoy everything Jurassic for an entire week, and also have some fun little exclusives or announcements every year. But if you do go forward with this, Universal will have to start taking this IP a little more seriously and start releasing content much sooner than every 3 years. Otherwise, these conventions will start to get stale very fast. Sure, they can be enjoyable and you can find a lot of fun in them still, but if there isn't anything new every year, nor any new announcements coming from the canonical universe, it'll be difficult to stay afloat after the first 3 or 4 conventions. But that's just my opinion, I'm not a professional, and it's only a suggestion for now. Either way, a Jurassiccon would be highly welcomed, and I really do hope we get our first bit of information about that at JP30. But there you go. These were just some things that I think Universal should do for Jurassic for the upcoming JP30 event happening in nearly 2 months' time. I really do hope we get an announcement very soon on what to expect, as it's 2 months to go and we still have zero clarification on what's coming soon according to a Twitter post that was made last month. But overall, that's what I think Jurassic should be doing for JP30 to make this event and IP an absolute success. Hopefully you would also agree with me. So feel free to head on down to the comments and let me know what you want and don't want to see at the 30th anniversary celebrations for not just Jurassic Park, but for the entire Jurassic universe too. Like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new, but most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.